Venerable Dhammadipa, Buddhism seems to have many different branches and meditation techniques, so that, especially in the West, we often have the problem not to know how to navigate through all this and how to find our path which is suitable for us individually towards enlightenment or realization. What is your take on this?
I believe that this, in order to understand the real meaning of Buddhism, one has to try to go beyond these outer appearances and go really into the essence of Buddhism. The essence of Buddhism is finally only one. I have no doubt about it that Buddha has taught only one Buddhism, only one Dharma, but he taught it in many, many different ways according to our abilities to accept Dharma. Dharma in the sense of truth here, because we believe Dharma, as you know, has many meanings, but the most important meaning and most basic meaning here is a truth. Truth of this world and truth of that which is beyond this world. So one should try, in as much as one can, and in as much as one really would like to make an authentic experience, not to be dependent on what the other believe and what one can read in different books, and not to be dependent on one's own deluded opinions. One should, if one really wants to understand Buddhism, one should strive. And unfortunately for us who are living in the Western world and in such a complicated, with such complicated minds, because due to education and due to our times, our minds are becoming more and more complicated. We are living more and more in concepts and in our own ideas about what the things are, rather than making genuine experience what is this living about. So when one makes authentic experience of Buddhism, then all these differences between these different techniques and between these different explanations, they will become less and less, and one will be less and less interested in making these differentiations, because finally the truth is one. In all these different branches of Buddhism, they are saying the same thing. The truth is only one. Only the ways to experience this truth can be very different. So no matter what technique one uses in order to come closer to this truth, when one sees and feels and experiences in himself that this technique really brings him closer to the truth, one should stick to the technique till one is able to make some deep, authentic experience, some realization. Once this realization is made, then one will the understanding of these different theories will all be in terms of integration rather than differentiation. If one has intelligence, even within the Theravada tradition we have many, many different interpretations. If one has intelligence and experience deep enough, one can integrate them into one whole picture. If one's intelligence is enough, also one I have no doubt about it, one should be able to integrate also all these different kinds of Buddhism, the Vajrayana, Mahayana, Hinayana, into one single picture. At first we see differences, but when we go deeper, these differences, they become something which is which one does not rely on. One relies on the whole that one has experienced in himself, and one should get into that point. That is very important.
So it's your advice to start with one technique or with one school of thought and then proceed, collect own experience, make own experiences, and then one is able to look beyond and compare and step further.
What is very important is that one finds a competent teacher and learns from him a technique which is suitable for him, with which he can stay and do effort, because it is impossible to experience truth without making effort. So with whatever technique one can do an effort and check the effort with a competent teacher, that technique is most suitable, and one will surely succeed in the technique. When one has succeeded in one technique, it is very, very easy to succeed in other techniques if one is interested to compare and to get the whole picture. Usually people in the traditional Buddhist societies, because they are not brought up in this way, like in Sri Lanka or in Burma, they do not come into contact with anything except their own tradition. But now in the West, even in China, where Buddhism has practically disappeared as a living tradition, we are open. We start studying Buddhism by comparing and by being exposed to many, many different ideas. So it is a challenge. On one hand, we have to choose the technique which is most suitable, with which we can do the best effort. Without effort, there will never be any success in deeper realization. And then, because it is a challenge of our time, we are becoming more and more in the cosmopolitan world, one world village, when we are exposed to all different kinds of traditions, different kinds of civilizations, different kinds of teachers. Then if one has this need to compare, which is very, very important in our time, and curiosity to understand more and to integrate, it will be possible. But only under the presumption that one has succeeded in attaining clarity with one technique.
As a solid basis.
As a solid base, yes. It is very important.
Thank you, Venerable Dhammadipa, for your input.